How do you choose the right SPM software for sales comp? Here's the most important thing about choosing sales performance management software. Don't start with the vendor demos. Start with your requirements and a scorecard. The best fit SPM platform isn't the one with the flashiest demo. It's the one with the models, your comp plans, connects code, your CRM, your ERP, and your HR data, and really gives you transparent, forecastable analytics so that you can actually trust what you're getting. In this buyer's guide, I'll walk you through the exact criteria to evaluate SPM software, how you compare platforms like Vericent, Exactly, Captivate IQ, SAP, Commissions, Caldas, Anaplan, Swift, Performio, Acron, some of the other ones, without getting dazzled, right? So I'll give you a free selection scorecard you can score them with. I'm Doug Erb with Lanshore, and because we're vendor neutral and implement all these systems, this is about finding the best fit for you, not really selling you one. So a quick look at the SPM industry. Let me give you a few minutes on the industry itself because it explains a lot about what you're buying. Sales performance management grew out of a simple problem. Companies calculating commissions and spreadsheets, they really couldn't keep up. Over the last 2 decades, the category matured into full platforms that handle incentive compensation, quota and territory management, like forecasting and analytics. And the market's consolidated around a handful of serious enterprise vendors. 2 things are reshaping it right now. First, the compensation data finally getting treated like financial data, right? Governed, audited, and connected. Second, AI. Everybody's hearing about that. Agents can monitor plans, catch anomalies, and answer comp questions in plain English. I've spent, probably 25 years in the space. And, I've led multiple implementations all across many platforms. And the pattern I keep seeing is this. Companies that win aren't the ones that buy the biggest platform. They're the ones that pick the platform that fits and implement it well, which is exactly why the rest of this guide is about. Why do most SPM software selections go wrong? Most SPM software selections go wrong for 3 reasons. First, teams start with demos instead of requirements. They fall in love with the feature before they defined what they actually need. Second, they underestimate data and integrations, grossly underestimate. The platform looks great until it has to pull real numbers from the CRM or ERP and HR. And then you really don't have a good structure or understanding of your data, and that's a big problem. And then third, they buy for the edge cases and ignore everyday usability. The comp admin ends up fighting the tool every cycle. Underneath all of this is a spreadsheet status quo. Team stays on error-prone spreadsheets. So long as that any tool looks better, they just skip the rigor, right? A simple scorecard can fix that. So what criteria should you use to evaluate SPM software? Let's build a scorecard, right? There's 8 criteria that matter when you evaluate sales performance management software. 1, plan complexity fit. Can it model your real comp plans without custom code? 2, integrations and data. How cleanly does it connect to your systems? 3, calculation, transparency, and auditability. Analytics, forecasting, performance tracking. 5, workflow, disputes, obviously, approvals, documents, document approval, plan approval is what we call it. 6 would be admin usability and how fast you can change a plan mid-year. 7, scalability, including multi-region and multi-currency. And 8 is generally total cost of ownership and vendor viability, which is actually can become pretty big, especially if you get a vendor who really doesn't support you well. Here's a key move. Let's weight those 8 categories by what matters most to you. Then you score each platform 1 to 5, and then you grab the free scorecard. Actually, it's going to be in the link below, and you can follow along. So how important are integrations and your data model? Let's go deeper on the one people underestimate the most, integrations and data. Your SPM platform is only as good as the data you feed it. It has to pull deals and attainment from your CRM, could be Salesforce, HubSpot, Microsoft Dynamics, really. Financials from your ERP, and your effectively your salespeople or HR data, hierarchy, quota from either your HR system or from your CRM. So when you elevate, when you evaluate, ask 3 questions. Does it have native connectors to your system? Let's restart that. Okay, I'm restarting now. How important are integrations and your data model? Let's go deeper on the one people underestimate the most. Integrations and data. Your SPM platform is only as good as the data feeding it. It has to pull deals and attainment from your CRM, whether that's Salesforce, HubSpot, Microsoft Dynamics, 365, what they call it now. Financials from your ERP on things like roster or hierarchy, and quota data from your HR systems, right? So when you evaluate, you need to ask these 3 questions. Does it have a native connector to your system? Or does it need everything custom integration, right? Can it handle your data volume? How does it refresh, nightly or real time, right? Does it give you one governed source of truth? So sales ops, finance, and HR are finally working from the same numbers, and that's critical. So if a platform can't cleanly ingest and reconcile your data, nothing downstream really matters. You've just automated the spreadsheet and really automated slop. What analytics, forecasting, and performance tracking do you need? So criteria 4 here, right? Analytics, forecasting, and performance tracking. Here you have to separate must-haves from the nice-to-haves, right? The must-haves are real-time comp dashboards, clear rep-facing statements that people can actually trust. It's not wrong. Live quota and attainment tracking, right? Then the higher value capabilities, things like commission forecasting, accrual estimates, things so finance can plan. What if modeling, so you can test if a plan is ready before you launch it, if it's going to give you what you think are your expected results. And increasingly, agentic AI, right? So you want automated analysis that monitor every cycle, right? So you want to see anomalies before the payouts go out. Don't get sold 100 dashboards you're never going to open. You really want to score each platform on the specific analytics that your leaders and reps will use every week. Every payout platform produces should be traceable, right? Okay, so I'm going to restart on 7 here. How do you judge calculation transparency and auditability? This is criteria 3, and it's really a deal breaker. There's calculation transparency. Every payout the platform produces should be traceable, right? A rep or an auditor should be able to click any number and see the deal, the rule, the rate, everything that was approved behind it. If the calculation's black box, disputes turn into week-long investigations, audits get painful, lawsuits happen. So in every demo, ask them for a drill from a final payment out all the way back to the source transaction, right? So you get to the plan rule with the logic and not just some kind of candid example. You need transparent audit-ready calculations. Separate enterprise SPM software from separated from glorified calculator. So how do you compare platforms without getting dazzled by a demo? So the comparison itself, every SPM vendor gives a polished demo. That's their home field advantage, right? So they're going to come in there and they're going to give you the vendor nod. Yes, it can do it. Yes, it can do it. Oh, let me show you how you can do it. So here's how you take it back, right? So first, weigh your criteria before you see a single demo. That's number 1. So you're scoring against your priorities, not their highlight reel, because they can easily change that on you. Second, you want to score each platform, whether it be Verisign, Exactly, Performio, Acheron, SAP. You want to score them on the same scorecard, 1 to 5, apples to apples, okay? Each of these has real strengths, and the right answer genuinely depends on the criteria. So which is exactly the why I am not ranking them for you here. And third, the most single important step is to require a proof of concept to use 2 or the 3 hardest comp plans that you have, and some of the sample of the real data that you have. Never use a vendor's canned demo. It's going to be pre-canned and it's going to effectively work. If you start throwing in your information or you start taking over the model, sometimes you will see the gremlins in the system. So what are the red flags, right? And the real cost of staying on spreadsheets. A few red flags to watch for are on the platform side. It can't model your plan without heavy custom code. And the integrations are thin, right? So the calculations are opaque, or the total cost balloons once you add implementation, admin time, and really all the things that you have to do to keep the system up and live, which may include, hey, I've got 5 plans, but I'm actually running 25 of the other plans in spreadsheets, right? So I'm going to say this: the biggest risk is you do nothing though, and you stay on spreadsheet-driven commissions. Because spreadsheet formulas error, right? And they either overpay or underpay, and you just lose auditability, right? So you have that, you have version chaos, right? Reps keep shadow spreadsheets because they don't trust the numbers, and comp cycles just drag on for weeks. So it becomes problematic. Every one of those is a reason to, buyers move over to SPM software, and a reason, to choose one that actually fixes the problem instead of digitizing, right? I think the most interesting overpayment story I heard was, and this is years ago now, but someone actually overpaid an individual rep over $350,000, and they weren't able to claw it back. And those are things that happen in spreadsheet calculations. A bit of a big example, of course. So how do you make the final decision, right? When you decide, you're going to tally and weight the scorecard, but weigh 2 more things, right? Total cost of ownership, that's licensing plus implementation plus ongoing admin effort. Let me throw you another one in there too. You may need to be looking at tokens and tokenization, right? As people start adding AI into their systems, right? So the other thing is not just the sticker price, right? So you have to look at it holistically. The implementation itself, right, because the platform is only half of the outcome, it's how it's configured is the other half, right? So people are configuring the software, right? Even the best SPM software, if it's implemented badly, will fail. So pick the platform that scores highest in your criteria and make sure you have a partner who can implement it and keep it running, right? How do you get started, right? So you want to start with the scorecard, not the demos, right? You want to download the free SPM selection scorecard. We have, there's a link here at the bottom, right? You want to weight the criteria for your business, and you want to score the shortlist against them, okay? And if you want a vendor neutral partner to help you choose the right platform and actually implement it across, say, Verisend, Exactly, Captivate, Acheron, Performio, all of them or more, that's exactly what Lanshore does. You can find us at lanshore.com. I personally have 25 years of experience in the industry. What's unique about Lanshore is actually we've converged both sales performance management and our agent and agentic building. So it's a bit of a uniqueness to Lanshore. Thank you, everyone.